Throughout history, certain places have become infamous, not for the events that took place there, but for what still lingers in the air long after. These haunted locations carry chilling stories, unexplained phenomena, and restless spirits tied to the past. Today we're diving into some of the most haunted places in history, if you dare. My name is Lalit Bhattarai, and tonight we journey into the heart of darkness. We're not just talking about old buildings with creaky floors, we're talking about locations saturated with raw human emotion, pain, fear, betrayal. These are places where the veil between our world and the next is paper thin, where the echoes of the past don't just whisper, they scream. I've dedicated my life to understanding these phenomena, to seeking out the truth behind the legends, and to giving a voice to those who can no longer speak for themselves. These aren't just stories. For many, these are terrifying realities. The energy imprinted on these locations is palpable, a heavy cloak of despair that can cling to you long after you've left. We're going to peel back the layers of history, expose the tormented souls trapped within, and confront the darkness that festers in these infamous sites. Prepare yourselves, because what you're about to hear, what you're about to feel, will challenge everything you thought you knew about the afterlife. This is an investigation into the most haunted places on Earth. Alright, we're starting this journey at a place that needs no introduction if you're into the paranormal, the Tower of London. This isn't just some old castle, man. This place is a fortress of pain, standing stoically on the River Thames, its stones soaked with over a millennium of blood, betrayal, and brutal history. We're talking about a place that has served as a royal palace, a treasury, an armory, and most chillingly, a prison and execution site. The sheer volume of human suffering that has occurred within these walls is almost unimaginable, creating an energy vortex that's off the charts. Think about it. For centuries, this was the final destination for those who fell out of favor with the crown. Kings, queens, traitors, heretics, their final moments were spent here, often in unimaginable agony. The fear, the despair, the sheer terror, that kind of intense emotion doesn't just dissipate. It seeps into the very fabric of the building, imprinting itself, leaving behind a residue that we, the living, can still feel today. One of the most famous spirits, or should I say infamous, is Anne Boleyn, King Henry VIII's second wife, accused, convicted and beheaded right here in 1536. Her story is one of power, love and ultimate betrayal. People have reported seeing her spectral figure, sometimes carrying her own severed head, wandering the corridors of the White Tower or near the Tower Green where she met her gruesome end. Can you imagine the anguish, the injustice she must feel, forever trapped in the place of her execution? It's a powerful, tragic energy. But Anne isn't alone. Oh no, far from it. There are countless reports. Ghostly guards still patrolling their ancient posts, their ethereal footsteps echoing in the dead of night. Then there's the White Lady, a mysterious figure often seen waving from a window, her identity lost to time, but her presence undeniably felt. She's said to bring a chilling cold with her, a signature of many entities. We've encountered this phenomenon countless times, that sudden drop in temperature, the air growing heavy, a clear sign that something unseen is near. Next, we're heading across the pond to Philadelphia, USA, to a place that redefined isolation and, in doing so, created a blueprint for psychological torment, Eastern State Penitentiary. Opened in 1829, this place wasn't just a prison, it was an experiment. The Quakers who designed it believed in penitence through solitude, thinking that if inmates were left completely alone, they'd reflect on their crimes and find God. What they actually created was a breeding ground for madness and despair, an environment so harsh it scarred souls for eternity. Imagine this. Inmates were kept in solitary confinement for 23 hours a day. When they were moved, a hood was placed over their heads so they wouldn't see another living soul, not even the guards. This extreme isolation, this sensory deprivation, it drove men insane. The psychological cost was immense, and that kind of intense mental anguish, that suffering, it doesn't just vanish when the prison closes its doors. It lingers, man. It festers in the decaying cell blocks. Today, Eastern State is a crumbling ruin, but its haunted reputation is stronger than ever. Visitors, staff, and countless paranormal investigators, myself included, have documented a barrage of unexplained phenomena. We're talking disembodied voices echoing through the empty halls, shadowy figures darting in and out of cells, the chilling sound of footsteps when no one is there. Cell Block 12 is notorious for cackling and shadowy figures, while Cell Block 4 is known for ghostly faces. It's raw, it's intense. Now we venture to a place of profound natural beauty, yet one that holds an incredibly dark and tragic reputation. Aokigahara Forest in Japan. Located at the base of the majestic Mount Fuji, this dense, sprawling woodland is often called Jukai, or the Sea of Trees. But it has a far more chilling moniker, the Suicide Forest. This isn't a haunting born from ancient battles or prison walls. This is a place saturated with modern despair, a final destination for countless souls who chose to end their lives amidst its silent, twisted trees. The sheer density of the forest is unsettling. The trees grow so close together on volcanic rock that they block out most sunlight and sound, creating an eerie, almost preternatural stillness. It's easy to get lost here, both physically and spiritually. For decades, Aokigahara has been one of the world's most used suicide sites. The reasons are complex, tied to cultural factors and personal tragedies, but the result is a forest imbued with an overwhelming sense of sadness and loss. Locals and spiritualists believe the forest is haunted by eerie, the Japanese term for ghosts, often depicted as spirits unable to move on due to a violent or unhappy death, or because proper funeral rites weren't performed. In Aokigahara, these are believed to be the souls of those who died by suicide, their anguish and regret tethering them to the place of their final moments. There's a pervasive belief that these spirits are vengeful, or at least deeply sorrowful, their energy contributing to the forest's oppressive atmosphere. Despite official efforts to dissuade people from entering with intent to harm themselves, and patrols that search for bodies, the forest continues to draw those in despair. Visitors, even those just hiking, report a litany of disturbing experiences. Compasses and GPS devices inexplicably malfunction, spinning wildly or failing altogether, attributed by some to the magnetic iron in the volcanic soil, and by others to something far more sinister. The feeling of being watched, of profound dread, is commonly reported. I've heard countless stories of strange sounds emanating from the depths of the woods, whispers when no one is around, mournful cries, and sometimes even disembodied screams. People speak of an unnatural silence that can suddenly be broken by these chilling vocalizations. Chapter 4. Château de Brissac, the Green Lady's Lament. We now travel to the picturesque Loire Valley in France, a region known for its stunning castles. But not all fairy tales have happy endings. Hidden within the grandeur of the Château de Brissac, the tallest castle in France, lies a dark secret and a resident ghost whose mournful cries have echoed through its halls for centuries. This isn't just any spirit, this is the Dame Verte, the Green Lady, and her story is one of passion, betrayal, and brutal murder. The Château de Brissac is a magnificent structure, with opulent rooms and a history stretching back to the 11th century, but it's a tragedy from the 15th century that has cemented its haunted reputation. The story goes that Charlotte de Breze, the illegitimate daughter of King Charles VII, was married to Jacques de Breze, the Grand Seneschal of Normandy. Their marriage, however, was not a happy one, and Charlotte allegedly took a lover. This is where the story takes its dark, violent turn. Legend says that Jacques, consumed by jealousy and rage, discovered Charlotte with her lover. In a fit of fury, he murdered them both within the castle walls. Some versions say he killed them with his sword, others that he had them walled up alive. Regardless of the exact method, the outcome was the same: a violent end for Charlotte, and the birth of a restless spirit. Her pain, her terror, her sense of injustice, these emotions are said to have anchored her to the chateau. She became known as La Dame Verte, or the Green Lady, supposedly because of the color of the dress she often wore, or perhaps the dress she died in. Her apparition has been reported by countless guests and residents of the castle over the centuries. She is most frequently sighted in the chapel tower room, her ethereal form drifting through the ancient stone corridors. Chapter 5, Poveglia Island, Italy's Island of the Damned. Our next destination is a place so dark, so forbidden, that even the locals refuse to set foot on its shores. Poveglia Island, nestled in the Venetian lagoon, Italy. This small island has a history steeped in unimaginable suffering, disease, and madness, earning it a reputation as one of the most haunted places on Earth. Its story is not for the faint of heart, a grim testament to humanity's darkest chapters. This isn't just a haunted location, it's an island saturated with death. Poveglia's sinister legacy began centuries ago when it was used as a quarantine station during the devastating bubonic plague outbreaks that swept through Europe. Thousands upon thousands of plague victims, men, women and children, sick and dying, were forcibly shipped to Poveglia and left there to perish. It's said that the dying and the dead were thrown into massive pits and burned, their ashes mixing with the soil. Some estimate that over 160,000 souls met their end on this tiny patch of land. Can you even comprehend that scale of death and despair? The island became a mass grave, its soil literally composed of human remains. Fishermen in the lagoon have reported snagging human bones in their nets for years. This sheer concentration of agonizing death, of fear and suffering, has created an incredibly dense and oppressive paranormal atmosphere. The energy here is heavy, suffocating. It's a place where the veil between worlds feels non-existent, where the tormented spirits of plague victims are said to roam endlessly, their cries carried on the wind. But the horror doesn't end there. In the early 20th century, a mental hospital was built on Poveglia. As if the island wasn't already cursed enough, patients at this asylum were reportedly subjected to horrific, inhumane treatments and bizarre experiments by a sadistic doctor. Chapter 6, Bhangar Fort, India's Cursed Kingdom. For our final investigation in this journey through haunted history, we travel to the arid landscapes of Rajasthan, India, to a place shrouded in legend and fear, Bhangar Fort. This isn't just considered one of the most haunted places in India, it's a location where the paranormal is so deeply ingrained in its identity that even the government acknowledges its unsettling power. Entry into Bhangar Fort is strictly prohibited after sunset and before sunrise by the Archaeological Survey of India. That alone tells you something is seriously wrong here. The story of Bhangar's haunting is a dramatic tale of beauty, desire, and a powerful curse. According to the most popular legend, a sorcerer named Singya, skilled in black magic, fell deeply in love with the beautiful princess Ratnavati of Bhangar. He knew he could never win her through conventional means, so he plotted to use his dark arts. He enchanted a cosmetic oil she was to use, hoping it would make her fall irresistibly in love with him. However, Princess Ratnavati discovered his wicked plan. Some say she saw the sorcerer enchanting the oil, others say she was warned. Instead of using it, she threw the oil onto a large boulder. The magic, potent and now misdirected, caused the boulder to roll towards Singya, crushing him. But before he died, the enraged sorcerer laid down a devastating curse upon Bhangar, damning the entire town and all its inhabitants to desolation and death, without any hope of rebirth. Shortly after the sorcerer's curse, Bhangar was indeed destroyed. Historical accounts suggest it was sacked during a battle or abandoned due to famine or war, but local lore firmly attributes its ruin to Singya's dying malediction. The once prosperous town with its temples, palaces and marketplaces was reduced to ruins. Its people vanished or killed. And ever since, it's been said that the spirits of those who perished, along with the malevolent energy of the curse itself, haunt the desolate fort. Outro music creepy fade-out begins. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the eerie stories tied to these places are enough to make your skin crawl. These haunted locations are more than just spooky tales. They're reflections of dark moments in human history that still echo today. Would you dare to visit any of them? From the blood-soaked stones of the Tower of London to the cursed ruins of Bangar Fort, we've journeyed through locations where history refuses to stay silent. These places, marked by tragedy, cruelty and profound sorrow, serve as chilling reminders that the past is never truly gone. The energies, the emotions, the very souls of those who suffered within these walls and desolate landscapes, they linger, creating an undeniable presence that continues to fascinate and terrify us in equal measure. My investigations have shown me time and again that there's more to this world than what we can see and touch. These haunted sites are windows into that other realm, places where the veil is thin and communication, however unsettling, is possible. The stories are not just legends, they are echoes of real human experiences imprinted on the environment. As we conclude this journey, remember that the shadows of the past are long, and the spirits within them are always watching, always waiting. Until next time, stay vigilant.